Hello everyone, this is Charlotte from Divinely Inspired, and today I'll be speaking to you from Esther chapter 1, verses 10 to 12. I'll be paraphrasing verse 10. So in verse 10, it says that King Xerxes was high in spirits from having wine. He asks Enoch to bring before him Queen Vashti. In verse 11, it says, to bring Queen Vashti wearing her royal crown in order to display her beauty to the people and nobles, for she was lovely to look at. But when the attendants delivered the king's command, Queen Vashti refused to come. The king became furious and burned with anger. My word of encouragement for you today is that God is always in control. Amen? It doesn't matter what you see. It doesn't matter what you feel. It doesn't matter what you hear. God is always in control. Amen? All right. So, Queen Vashti, as we know her, was known to not be a queen of having good character. It's been said that what was asked of Queen Vashti in that moment was not uncommon behavior for her. However, I'm not here to debate any of that. What I'm here to tell you is in that moment, okay? In that moment, Queen Vashti acted like a woman of virtue. She acted like a woman of having high moral standards when she refused to put her beauty on display. God was in control. Why she refused? So that Queen Esther, as we know her, could be brought to the palace and be crowned queen for such a time as this, or such a time as that. Amen? So in Esther chapter 4, verse 14, it says, for if you remain silent at this time, relief and deliverance for the Jews will arise from another place, but you and your father's family will perish. And who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this. Amen. God is in control. Sometimes God changes your position. It may be for good, it may be for bad, but remember, God is always in control. He is responsible for raising up kings and queens and demoting them. In Daniel chapter 2, verse 21, it says, and he, God, changes the times and seasons. He removes kings and raises up kings. He gives wisdom to the wise and knowledge to those who have understanding. I want to encourage you today not to be discouraged. Do not feel discouraged. Do not feel dismay if you've been removed from a position that you've held. Sometimes it's not about you. It's not about you, but it's about the will of God being done here on earth as it is in heaven. Amen? Sometimes God needs to cause a shift in the atmosphere to move things around so that his agenda can be fulfilled. Amen? It's not about you. God is always in control. You know what? Let me correct that. Sometimes it is about you not doing the will of God. But in this moment, it wasn't really about Vashti. It was about God's will being done. Amen? And deliverance coming for the Jews, God's people. So instead of being angry, offended, or bitter, sometimes you need to seek the face of God. Actually, not sometimes. You need to seek the face of God. Seek the face of God and ask him, what is his will for your life? What is his purpose for your life in that moment, in that season? Ask him, how can you help to further his agenda? Amen? Ask him, how can you move forward? Help. So sometimes your assignment in that season might be to provide mentorship for that new leader that was just put in your position. Amen? So mentorship is important. Don't miss that opportunity to provide mentorship and leaving a legacy behind because you're being bitter. Remember, God is in control. It's not about you, but it's about a greater good for society. It's about God's will and purposes, a God's will and plan being done here on earth as it is in heaven. Remember, God is in control. Be encouraged, be inspired, be blessed.